Cronos bounces back at the $5 set mark, Ripple finally wins the case against the SEC, and everything is mooning again as we celebrate the International Moon Day. With all this great news, there is still one question really in my mind, and that is it time to buy? Is it time to sell? And well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm yours truly, the Coin Baron. And in this video, we're going to focus again on the central question. Is it right now time to buy more Cronos, or should you wait a bit longer? This question is actually one that we do analyze every month over and over again to see the progression as well in this bull cycle. You can find the June video in the top right corner, but right now I really want to focus on July. Anyways, if you do want to join our journey, please do consider pressing the big red subscribe button and of course hitting the like button as well. Anyways, let's get right into the first tool. Looking at the CRO US dollar charts, well, one thing is very clear to me, and is that we're still in the same channel as the previous time. So right now, it seems we have got great support, actually had a good bounce at 0.55 cents. And right now, our biggest hurdle would really breaking this $0.65 cent mark. So right now, it's still a possibility that we're in this channel for quite a prolonged time. However, I think some macro conditions are also very important to look at because, well, we're looking at the CRO US dollar chart, but the US dollar isn't doing the best right now. As you might have heard, Bitcoin is at an all-time high if you compare it against the Egyptian currency. And while it's not completely comparable for US dollars, you do see something similar happening right now, is that the overall strength really of the US dollar index that you can see on the Dixie over here on the chart is going down. And while it has a little bounce again, like Cronos actually, it is not doing the best. So when we were in June over here, it was basically at 103. The last few days though, we have seen a big dump actually on the Dixie to levels that we haven't really visited in even a few years. So this is quite an important event. While going down 1, 2, 3% is nothing out of the ordinary for Bitcoin or Cronos, it is quite special for assets like the US dollars. This doesn't occur that often. And just think about it. Right now, if you compare it to an asset like Bitcoin, if that one remains stable, but the Dixie is going down, well, that means you need more dollars to get the same amount of Bitcoin. So that is quite special, quite good for risky assets like Bitcoin. And that's why you see also some stock assets mooning like Apple or maybe even Nvidia. To get back to the charts though, while traditional finance is really important, I think it's also very interesting to look at the support lines. And overall, because we have visited it already twice, it seems it will hold also probably a third time. Therefore, it is my opinion, and I'm definitely not a financial advisor, that 0.5 cents is probably the lowest we have gone in this cycle. But this is only just one tool. So also let's take a look at the other tools as well. The second tool we use is the Altcoin Season Index. And already it tells you it is not altcoin season as we're scoring 27. So right now it would be better to have Bitcoin. And the cool thing to actually note on this chart as well is that since the last time we've seen it, it has gone up and down a lot. So in June, it went from 20 to even 8. And that changed a lot when we had the conclusion really of the Ripple case against the SEC. Altcoins, most of the altcoins are using proof of stake and therefore had the risk of being called a security with all the downside effects of it. Unfortunately, I think this is really more a temporary thing. So probably we are still over here in Bitcoin season or around Bitcoin season for quite a while, as we are still hovering around 50% Bitcoin dominance. However, is that really a bad thing? Personally, I still think it is not a bad thing to buy Cronos when it is Bitcoin season. That is mainly because Bitcoin is relatively overpriced against the altcoins during Bitcoin season. So buying Cronos right now, it's for me still a bit unclear because of course we do see there was quite a surge again in altcoins. Therefore, as we are not at the lowest against Bitcoin value, I wouldn't say right now would be a definite win for Cronos, but still in the overall picture, I think it is still relatively cheap. Then the question that really pops up in my mind is, where are we currently in the cycle? And therefore, we're going to use the tool you see on the screen. And honestly, I do have to admit though, I'm a big fan really of the 4-year cycle theory. And it is every 4 years we have the Bitcoin halving. And so far in the past, we've seen after each halving, we have to start really the bull cycle. And I think this time will be no different. And well, it is also seen in many traditional markets with the boom and bust cycles. But of course, this one is a bit more special as we're talking about crypto. Anyway, so we are currently in the greenish phase. And the greenish phase often coincides with the end of the bear cycle and the beginning of the bull cycle. So we're still really more in the middle, I would say, but more yellowish than greenish. So I don't think we are there yet. But yeah, possibly this might be the start again of the next bull cycle. So we have to be a bit more patient, ladies and gentlemen. Then off to the final chart. And honestly, guys, I think this one is a lot better than the first chart we've seen, as this is comparing CRO versus Bitcoin. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a superior asset compared to, well, US dollars. So let's take a look at this one over here. And honestly, this seems like this is a bad thing for Cronos, because from 2021, this is really more like a water slide going down, down, and down only for Cronos. But honestly, I do see this really as an opportunity, because of course, to get to the water slide, we first have to climb up. And I think, yeah, might be one of the first steps on the climb upwards. So the question that I asked earlier, is this really the lowest we can go for CRO versus Bitcoin? So let's zoom in a little bit more. The purple line you see down below is the all-time low for Cronos versus Bitcoin. So I previously mentioned that I do think that we will revisit the previous all-time low for Cronos versus Bitcoin. However, we didn't go there. I really thought we would go down, down, down only, but of course, then we had the Ripple case and altcoins did really well. So previously, it was like a few percent more down, still 18%, 16%. But right now, from this point onward, well, we'd have to go down, what is it, more like 24%. So the question that remains to me is, will we still revisit this old all-time low? And I personally think this is still a possibility. However, this is the first time, and let's actually take a look at the weekly scale, because I think it's a bit more better to see. On a weekly scale, it seems right now we are going more green, and more green. If we have one more week, I think, in the green, so 4 weeks in total, this might be the start really of a trend reversal. I still have a bearish bias, so let's not give a win to Cronos in this one, as I still think we might revisit this purple line. Having said that though, I do think this chart really nicely shows the relative cheapness of CRO versus Bitcoin. So going forward, you still see there is quite some, well, potential to the upside. Okay, time for a conclusion. And well, the first tool really was a win for Cronos. When we take a look at CRO versus US dollar, we have seen two bounces really at the $5 cent mark. And that is really, I think, a powerful support level. And also, we have the macro conditions that are really pointing very bullish. Okay, then the second tool. That one was the Altcoin Season Index. And the Altcoin Season Index right now is a bit in the middle. After the Ripple case, well, altcoins were doing a bit better. However, still on the great time scale, it is right now probably a great time to load in on those Cronos tokens. However, as we have left really the Bitcoin season, I won't give a win for this one. Then we can take a look at where are we currently in the cycle. Is that one actually bullish? And as we are currently, again, in the middle, I don't want to give a definite win for Cronos again. So again, this one is neutral. Then finally, Cronos against a Bitcoin. And CRO versus Bitcoin, well, that one is actually quite interesting, as Cronos is looking to be better and better, actually, as we have 3 green weeks in a row so far. However, I still have a bearish bias, so I will give a lose for this one on Cronos. So therefore, guys, well, we actually have a 1-1 this time. If you want to have any conclusion, what I will do this month is I will do 25% in CRO, I will do 50% in US dollars, and I will do 25% in Bitcoin. That will be my portfolio allocation for this month. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you guys do. And of course, do hit the like button. And if you'd like to follow this journey again, please also consider subscribing to the channel. But that's me. I'm the Coin Baron, and I will see you in the next video. Till then.